Hello everybody. Please let me know if you can hear me. If you cannot, please write something on the question pane. I think, okay, thank you. My helper says me that it's okay. So if you have some problems, please write to the question pane as well. Thank you. So let's start because it's already time. My name is Irene. I'm a head of product analytics group in Data Capture Products, and today I will lead the last webinar from our series dedicated to webinars related to FlexiCapture 12 Beta 2. So welcome. And the webinar of today is called Workflow for Case Management. All participants are muted, and you're welcome to type your questions to the question pane. We will answer them during the session or via email after the webinar. But actually, I will try to answer your question after each part because I will have several parts of my webinar and then live demo. So after each live demo, I will check if there are new questions there and we'll try to answer questions related to this part. So please write to the question pane. The session is being recorded and we will send you the link to the recording after the session. And also this link will be placed on the page for beta testing. To start, let me remain the contents of our previous webinars. This time we have divided our content into three parts. The first one was dedicated to auto learning. The second to FlexiCapture platform, and this one is FlexiCapture 12 workflow for case management. The first webinar had an introduction dedicated to the positioning, key benefits, and focus segments of FlexiCapture. It covered in details our technological features, which are auto learning, new possibilities of our advanced classification, intelligent capture for processing of unstructured documents, and image enhancement. We pay a lot of attention to technology development, so these are very interesting areas. The second part called FlexiCapture 12 as a platform was dedicated to new possibilities which allow us to call FlexiCapture 12 an enterprise-ready platform. The webinar covered high scalability and performance of the product, our new monitoring console, processing of digitally bound documents, multi-tenancy, and also my colleagues showed our new web stations created on HTML5. And also I would like to recommend you to see recording of these webinars if you had no chance to listen them online. And I will remind you that our beta page contains links to the recording. Just quickly we'll show you one more time our page for beta testing. It is here, and here you have all information related to beta testing. You have what's new in FlexiCapture Beta 2 compared to the previous beta version. And here you have links to webinars, the first one and the second, and after this one, the third link will also appear here. Here you have all contents and possibility to download and try beta version. So please use this page to get more information. I'm back to my presentation, and I'm starting my part of the webinar. I will tell you about FlexiCapture 12 new workflow features, which will allow users not only process documents, but deal with more complicated business processes inside the same product. So we can say that FlexiCapture workflow will help our users in case management. I will cover such topics as service license agreement enforcement, document sets processing, and improvements on scanning station. On this slide, you can see an overview of all new possibilities we have added to FlexiCapture, and among them, new features in the workflow, including features I mentioned and the features I will tell you right now. So let's start with service license agreement enforcement. A lot of our customers have a service license agreement with their end users, and in these agreements, certain document processing times are specified. Different document types might imply different timing. For instance, very important documents must be processed within a couple of hours or even minutes, while conversion for archiving purposes doesn't require these deadlines. ABI FlexiCapture 12 helps our customer to meet their service license agreement obligations, allowing them to specify expiration times for different batch types. And the program will automatically prioritize these batches and place them in the queue in right order. Also, there are possibilities to monitor batches which are about to expire. When a batch nears its expiration time, its priority is automatically raised, and the batch and its tasks are moved to the front of the queue. And here I will try to explain how it works. If all batches are on the green zone, they are prioritized after their priorities which were initially given to the batch. But when documents are close to expiration, they go to the yellow zone or to the red zone, even expired. They will be placed to the front of the queue and will be processed even before the documents of highest priority which are not expired yet. So this automatic prioritization helps our users to take such tasks from the queue and to meet their obligations. But sometimes appears batches which have to be processed even more quicker, and users have to do that manually. So for these cases, we implemented the possibility to set extra high priority, and the batches with extra high priority, which can be set only manually, will be always first on all queues, on all our queues on recognition, verification, and other stages. Let me show you how we can set up the system and how we can view what happens in our system. First of all, about the settings. Allowed batch processing time can be set for each batch type on the workflow type of batch type priorities. Here we have this dialog box which allows us to set up the time within we have to process batches. Here I put that batches of this specified type have to be processed within 2 days. And I want the system to warn me when the batches, when 2 hours remain until the expiration time. So all batches have to be processed within 2 days, and I would like to remind about the expiration 2 hours earlier than they are expired. This is a rather easy scenario, but sometimes it is necessary to perform more complicated scenarios. For these cases, we have scripting. In this script, for example, we created it to perform the following scenario. The batches which comes to the company until afternoon have to be processed the same working day. And the batches which come after the afternoon have to be processed the next day early in the morning. So you can see that we can give you a sample if you would like. Please write us on the feedback form, and you will have this sample to play with it. So such more complicated, more advanced scenarios are also possible. And the other thing about scripting, you can also create batches using Web API, and you can specify a batch creation time using creation date and the time when processing should be started, SLA start date. Once a batch is created, the values of these fields cannot be changed. But please note that using Web API, you can also set up this time. The other important thing is monitoring of service license agreement. And as you can see on this screen, all batches have expiration time and the status. The status can be red when the batch is already expired, and it can be yellow when it is close to expiration. I have a question. How do you get warned on the expiration? Email will be also possible. It will be a notification on the monitoring station. But now, when batch is close to expiration, first of all, we will see this mark on the batch, on the working batch view. You will also see this mark on the task queue, and you will see that on monitoring station. But the most important thing that this batch will be moved in front of the queue. So the verifier, which automatically get tasks, will get this batch first of all, or tasks created out of this batch will be first in the queue. So I have shown you this project setup station. Now please pay attention to the verification station. We can also explore QA and see the expiration date and the status of the batch. Also, when task is postponed, I can also see that this task is expired. And let me show you the monitoring station. We have here processing monitor. And if I go to batches, I also can see the batch creation date and expiration date. So my batches can be yellow if they are close to expiration and can be red if they are already expired. Also, I have filtering here. I can see only expired batches, and I can see batches close to expiration. So everything can be displayed on the monitoring station. One more time, I will return to verification station just to show you how to set extra high priority if there is a need. Here I can send task to other stage and set extra high priority here. I can do the same from other views, from the batch views, etc. And let me remind you that extra high batches with extra high priority will be on front of the queue. So when the operator presses get task and there is automatically task receiving on, he will receive first of all these batches. One more thing, I would like to tell you that we calculate time starting from the time when the batch was created on scanning station. For example, this batch was created in advance, and if I send this batch now to FlexiCapture, it will be already expired because it was created long ago. So I have here this single entry point batch created in advance, and I can see that it is already expired. If I create and send new batch, the time will be calculated from this moment. So it will not be expired yet, it will expire when the time is off. Sorry. So the benefits of service license agreement enforcement is help our customers to process all their documents on time due to correct automatic prioritization and due to monitoring possibilities which allow them preventing problems by discovering bottlenecks on time. I will move to the next feature. If you have some questions about service license agreement, please write. We will have some time after the webinar as well. The next feature is document sets processing. We learned that a lot of our customers are already processing documents that their clients submit to open bank accounts, to get a loan, for example, mortgage loan, to get an insurance, etc. This case management scenario implies not only data extraction, but also you need to check that all the required documents have been provided and that all of them belong to the same case. ABI FlexiCapture 12 allows performing all these checks, displaying the main fields from different documents on the same form to enable comparison of key fields, stamps, photos or signatures, and displaying relevant data from the company databases to enable comparisons with extracted data. So if you need some additional information, it also can be placed on the specific document set form or summary, and you will have all necessary information. As a result, This functionality allows users both to extract the necessary data and make an informed decision about the case. For example, to decide if the loan can be provided to the end user. Among the very important feature implemented to support document sets, I want to highlight the possibility to create one document definition and reuse it in several document sets. For example, driving license or ID can be a component of different document sets. So you create this flexible description in advance and then can use it for different cases. Other important new feature is the possibility to export a whole set to one PDF file or create one database record with links to images of each document of a set. Let me open verification station. Now, let's start with project setup. And I will open the other project where I have a sample with a document set for mortgage. This is just a sample just to show you what we can do. So here I have different documents. I can open all of them, and please pay attention that now data of each document are placed on tabs. There is a navigation between tabs, but the most interesting thing is the summary where we can see fields from all these documents. Let me recognize unrecognized document. I would like just to show you that all types will be assigned automatically. So it is recognized. We already have all documents here, but it contains one error. So let's check what happened. I've just opened the summary of the whole set without opening documents, and I can see that this social security number doesn't coincide. So it might be a problem. I will go to the corresponding document and we'll see what happened. It's just a bad image with missing digit. I will try to correct it manually, save the document, and the error is gone. So now it's totally okay, and I can tell that the whole set is okay without opening each document one by one. I have a question. Does the order of the documents have relevance, or does it organize them? It depends on the settings. Right now I will show you the settings. When we create a new document definition, I will create a new one. You have two options now: to create a single document, which is similar to 11 version, and you can create a document set. You can add summary, and you can add all documents which should be included to this set. When you write name and description, and that's it. This is the summary, which is initially empty, but I can create field, and this is called mirror field. This is new type of a field which allows us to place here documents with any documents of the set. So I create several fields and place them to this form. Each document has properties and each section can be repeated. So let me return to already created document definition, which is document set mortgage, and show you all these settings. So here I have a repetition of the section, and in the document definition properties I also have an assembly tab. Here you can specify if these documents are required. If this document is not required, for example, I can put here 0, from 0 to 1. So it is not necessary. And here I can enable or disable section order check. So if it is enabled, the order is important. If it is not, so the order will not be checked. Only the required documents will be searched, and if they are not on the set, the error message will be displayed. The other interesting possibilities is the possibility to add document section. That will be a normal document section in the set with own pages, everything like it was before in 11 version. Summary section. This is a new section without fields, without images, but with fields from other documents, from database, from any other sources, which you can place there. For example, here it is already created, and it has all these fields you have seen already on verification. Just to compare names from different documents and social security numbers from different documents. And please pay attention to this one, because that allows you to reuse document definition in different sets. For this case, you have to select add link to the document, and you will be able to add link to already created passport document definition or driving license document definition. That was the feature which I mentioned, the possibility to use the same document in different document sets. This sample, we will continue developing it, improve it, and by the release it will be included in our sample set. So it will be a part of this distributive, just to allow our users to play with this document set and check how it works. So please test it. It is also provided with a beta version. You can test it, and you can check what happened in each case. And also I have to mention that it is possible to work with document set using the API, and there are some changes related to this structure, because as you can see now, it is possible to create a hierarchy here, to place a document in sets, and I have merge document and create the document of new type. For example, here I have created one more level, so it is also possible. It is not described in our settings, that's why now I have an assembly error, so it is not correct. How is the start of a document set defined? It will be, we will try to find the first document. For example, here we believe that this bank statement is the first document, and we will try to create this document. Actually, it works like before. We are adding pages to the previous document, and we see if adding pages to the document gives us more assembly error or less assembly error than it was before that. So it is iterational decision. We are trying to add pages to the previous document, or we are trying to create a new one. In this case, it works with the logic is more complicated because pages can be added to the same document. It can be added to the same document of the same level, or it can be added to the document of the other level of this hierarchy. So yes, it's more complicated now, but still if you define good logic and if your document set is not that complicated, it's also possible to do. For complicated cases, we are working on scripting. Order of the documents, yes, as I have shown you, you can say that the order is important or it is not. You can do that in the document definition properties, assembly, and here disable section order check or enable. And you can also tick this one, begin document from first section. The wording is not quite correct right now because it also works with document. We will change that. But still it works like before. So you can start with the first document. You can enable or disable the order of documents inside the set. You're welcome. So everything is depend on the settings. Probably they are a bit complicated, but we are trying to describe everything and give you right samples, and also we will continue making webinars. So please try to use it to test that and give us our suggestions. If sometimes it seems to you a bit complicated, please let us know. We will try to come up with a better solution. The other thing I would like to mention with document sets, that sometimes it's necessary to make validation at the very early stage when the agent in the front office accepts documents from the end user. Because it's important to give to the user quick response if all documents are in place, if all documents are provided, and so on. So we have implemented possibility to check document sets right after scanning on the scanning station, and import document types from the server to the scanning station. So let me open scanning station and show you this functionality. I have created a batch of the type document sets, and when I'm trying to send this document, I have an error message, and this error message tells me that there are one document which is missing, which is a passport. I will load this image. This is the passport page. Change the document type manually. And I'm trying to send. Now everything is okay because all documents are in place. So this feature helps us to give a quick response to the customers if all documents are in place. Now it works manually, but on the later versions of FlexiCapture, the next releases, we have plans to add classification to the scanning station. So here it will be possible to classify documents and check them and then send all documents. We are not planning to make right here very complicated validation. All that will remain on verification station, but classification and the quick decision if all documents are in place will be made right here. To set up this, you have to open batch types, batch type properties, and here you have document types which can be imported from the server with the usage with this button, import. And here also you can set up these numbers, which initially are imported from FlexiCapture, but can be also changed here. If you do not want this check, you will not place this check documents type and count. Switch it off and check is not made. But if you do that, at the same moment you are trying to say the batch to FlexiCapture, the batch will be checked and the message in case of error will be displayed to the scanning operator. So if documents are classified at scan station, a page count will be consumed at that point in time. Yes, it will also work like I have shown you. So we are trying to classify documents. Now we can do that manually. Change type, create documents, and then send. And when we implement classification here, the operator will be able to classify documents and then do the same. When he's sending documents, he will see the error message. So if I didn't get your question right, please write me more questions. I will try to explain more details. Yeah. Okay. When it is implemented, I will also show you the new feature and we will make the new webinar. I will explain how it works now. It works manually and we think it will be implemented the same way but automatically. So please pay attention that now you can import document types to any types on scanning station. This is also a new feature. For example, I have opened single entry point document type. I am trying to import types and you can see here familiar document names, banking contracts, etc. Please test that and give us some feedback. I will return to my presentation and tell you some more tell you about more improvements on scanning station. We made this improvement after our users' request because some users have complained that their scanning operators make mistakes and might set wrong batch type to batches and then set them to FlexiCapture. Such batches go to the wrong workflow and cannot be processed as required. It is difficult to correct such mistakes because verifiers sometimes specialize on a few batch types and do not understand what happens if the batch has wrong type. The only thing they can do is return such batches to the scanning operator. And a similar thing used to happen with wrong values of registration parameters. These options to change document type and change value of registration parameters was closed on rescanning stage. But now it is also possible. Let me show you quickly how we implemented that. For example, I have one batch on rescanning stage. And here I have two registration parameters. The first one is read-only parameter, and I cannot change it because it is read-only. But the second one can now be changed. And to change the batch type, I open the properties of the batch. I see that at a single entry point, and I can change the type using this dialog box. So you can also test this feature and give us some feedback. And other group of our users frequently get small documents scanned on the same sheet of A4 format, like I have here. That can be small documents which was scanned together, and some of our users had to create a script or order professional services to create such script to split images like that because they had a lot of them. After studying such cases, we decided to make this a standard functionality, and now it is also implemented on scanning station. We can split image into parts using horizontal separator. Sorry for the icon. In the next beta free it will be changed, but we had no time to change that by now. It is not ready. Sorry for that, but the feature works. Now I have two pages. The first one is made from the first part, and the second one still has 4 parts. To make a vertical separator, I use Shift. Using Shift, I can split it vertically. And if I use Ctrl, I can split this page into 4 parts. Now I have 4 different pages with my small documents, and also this first one. So that's almost everything I wanted to tell you, but I would like to remind you about our key usage scenarios, because I have just told you about some of them. So please pay attention that FlexiCapture can now be used for documents of different kinds. And now I have told you about document sets. First of all, these document sets are used in banking by banks, also for mortgage companies and insurance companies. because in Russia we have a lot of cases right now when users want to open bank account or ask for a loan, and we hope that such cases will appear in other places more and more. So please test the feature, and probably you can tell us about new usage scenarios when we can benefit from this feature. It's worth mentioning as a next step, we would like to be able to use intelligent capture for processing unstructured documents, and these two features are also related, because with that advanced technology and the possibilities of processing document sets, which I have just shown you, FlexiCapture users will be able to process document sets which might consist from application forms, semi-structured and even unstructured documents. For example, that could be company's statute document, contracts, etc. And validate information extracted from all sources, applying necessary business logic. I personally believe that this is quite a powerful possibility. Also, my colleagues have told you about classification for archiving and record management using our new classification. So these are mailroom scenario and other classification scenarios. And these all are new. But still, a lot of our users already process invoices, taxes, account receivable, proof of delivery, because they are similar to invoice document. So please be aware about all this scenario, and if your end customer asks you for the scenarios, be confident that FlexiCapture can deal with all of them. I have one question about licensing. In the latest Beta 2 installation set, when opening project setup station, it keeps saying no working license selected. A valid FlexiCapture 12 license has been used and is in the license manager. My question is, have you installed the new version of Beta 2? And probably you might need to request the new license. So please write your question to the feedback form, and we will answer as soon as we can. Because if you run your Beta 1 in virtual machine, unfortunately, the same license can be used on Beta 2. We had some incompatibility problems because we have implemented some new protection on virtual machines. So please write your case in feedback form, and we will deal with that. We'll need to find out what happened. Let me show one more time that we have feedback on all our web stations, including monitoring, which I am showing you right now. So please press the button feedback and provide us with any feedback you have. So that's it with my presentation. Thank you for your attention. The webinar is recorded, so the link will send to you and will be placed on our beta testing page on our website. If you have some more questions right now, I will try to answer you. If not, please send us all your questions via the feedback form, and we will try to answer as soon as possible. Thank you so much, and I'm finishing this webinar. Thank you for your attention.